I'm going to introduce just a brief presentation of what we do in Immersive XR. I'm David Moreno, I'm the Business Development and Marketing Officer in Virtualware. We are a 20 years old company, very specialized in immersive technologies and 3D software, working with companies all around. We became public last year, so we are very well known in the community. This is my 5th time that I came here to AWE. We are ambassadors of Immersive XR. Today we are going to talk in the panel about XR for training, but XR in particular and some of the use cases that we have in Spain. Okay, we consider us as a reference not only in Spain but also in the world. Let me tell you a little bit about Immersive XR, who is the extended reality class in Spain. So we try to be the community for companies, partners, institutions, etc. in Spain, trying to bring the Spanish XR community together and expand what we are doing there. As part of our activities, and this is great, we publish every year the state of the Spanish XR community. Here you can take a picture. This is the latest report that we did last year. Actually, we are working in the next report that will be presented in November at the national event that we do, which is called Descubre XR, actually, and alongside XR for Europe. So as a cluster, we are very connected with the European Commission, the initiatives in regards of VR, AR, and this kind of reports that we do represents that. I would like to show you a little bit of videos of what we did last year in one of our European initiatives that we are involved. This is actually Stereopsia, now United XR Europe. Actually, there is a promotion outside of this event because this is the European event that AWE has partnered with. So we also invited you to be there as we did last year. Okay, well, now it's time for the round table. So let me invite all the panelists to the stage, please, and sit down with me to enjoy this amazing panel. Come on. Okay. Well, first of all, just I would like you to introduce yourselves and talk a little bit more about your company before we enter different use cases for training in our fields.
Yeah. Okay, I'm Gabriel. I am co-founder and CEO of Immersive Oasis, based in the north of Spain, and we mostly work in healthcare for training and also in digital therapies.
Okay, I'm José Outón, co-founder and CEO in Rewoox. We are in Spain, but we have an office in Germany and Mexico the next month, and we are focusing industrial training and the uses in the artificial intelligence mixed with immersive solutions.
Hi all, my name is Javier. I'm from Quasar Dynamics based in Valencia. We actually don't do B2B development, but I hope to add some value arguments with my colleagues. We have 2 brands. The first brand is Quasar Dynamics, and the second brand is called Nox Noctis. We will release our new video game, It's Meta, tomorrow, 13th Friday, and that's all. Thank you.
Well, thanks for the intros. Let's get started because we only have like 18 minutes here in this round table. So I would like you to share, this is all about XR for training, XR for collaboration, but XR from the developer perspective. So I would like you just to share one of the use cases that you are very familiar with, very excited to the community, and then we can get deep into how you manage that use cases, the development, etc. So,
okay, we work with virtual reality applied to the virtual training. I was working with bigger companies in my background, and the problems are the same. The time that you need to create that kind of training and to do cheaper and fast, the problem is the results are not very good. And for that, in Rewoox, we was focusing create a training platform those 3 years ago that can accelerate that adoption in the training. For example, we have a successful case in Mexico when Solfuel is a company that they need to train a lot of people in the solar sector. The price to training before the virtual reality was $600 per employee, and with us it's only $30 if you compare. The successful case is very clear because the return on the investment is so faster, and you have more solution because you need Mexico is bigger, and you need to have a training center in each state, and with solution you only need a glasses training and come back to the office.
Okay, well, for me, among all, probably the Doctopedia XR project is a very big project we are doing with Daiichi Sankyo, which is the biggest pharmaceutical lab in Japan. It started as a crazy project with the Spanish division. Now it's a global project of the entire company. We are training like thousands of healthcare professionals around the world, now entering also in the universities. And I think that for us, this project goes beyond the numbers in the economics, because a lot of doctors are coming to us to be part of the project, to create trainings to be inside. They want the project inside the universities. And for example, when we go to shows, you see the booth from Bayer, AstraZeneca, and other brands, but all the people goes directly to Daiichi because they know that they have the compromise to go beyond the digitalization for the industry, and they are like the pharma with the toys. So, don't know, a lot of smiles in this project, and it's growing so fast. So XR is here for.
So, for instance, that you share different use cases. Okay, healthcare sector, training, XR training. So, which are, from your perspective, the main pain points, okay, the main problem that you are solving in those use cases, okay? You mentioned something about, okay, cost reduction, you can train a very realistic way, which is great. Maybe it could be a little bit different in the case of a pharmaceutical company that you are talking about. So which are the main problems that you are solving for your customers in those use cases?
Of course, all the companies trying to find the most cheaper solution. This is the first problem that they trying to solve it. When you try to escalate a startup, this example with Solfuel company, they need to training a lot of people, and if they try to scale in other countries, they have the same problem. It's not the only problem in Mexico. And with virtual reality, they solve that problem with the scalability, because they can continue with the same quality in the training in all the world, only with the same one solution. For me, it's the most better example that you can solve a problem with virtual reality training.
You touch one point that I think, from a main customer perspective, when they are studying, they only think about the cheaper solution, okay? But it's because potentially they could be thinking, okay, this is a pilot project, I don't have a strategy, I don't know what I'm going to do next, because if I have a strategy, I know what I'm going to do next. Maybe the first decision that I make with the solution, the company or the platform, it's different. So my mind, it's not about, less expensive in the short term, but thinking about the long term, and maybe the investment could be more wide, because in the future we'll be able to scale that up, faster. But coming back to the different pain points in regards of your solution and the use case for the healthcare industry, which do you think?
Well, it's quite the same. I mean, directly for the lab is more go beyond the pill, because they know that they need more things to get noticed, and also because the younger doctors want different things to engage with the brand. But if we talk about directly the training and the doctors, it's quite the same. For example, you can train with a doctor directly in Japan, because it's the key opinion leader, is the best in the world, and you can do the training, do the master class from your house, which is very, very nice. And also the simulation system in the universities is nothing we want to take apart, but it's very expensive. They broke it quite a lot of times. So you bring them something new, more engaging, where you can also train soft skills. And just practice before going to reality.
No, it's great actually, because the collaboration thing here, which is normally, large corporations, you have, people remotely, different locations. There are, global corporations. How you can have everybody together in, an XR space. How you can manage that, and it's sometimes, complicated. I think if you don't have the infrastructure, and with global companies and more in the pharmaceutical industry, it's complicated. So I would like to touch a little bit more about that in regards, for instance, in your case, when you have people in different locations and you need to bring a solution that can potentially manage that. So touching again that point, how do you work with the customer? How do your use case is better than another use case in regards of that collaboration layer?
Maybe one of the things is that you say that we have the vision of the future, not of the now, and you dream in big and you do little steps to go to that dream, and sometimes you have to turn around quite a few times. And also, thankfully, that we work with Pico, for example. They have a very nice ecosystem for the hardware for these use cases. We did a few training to the company, and now we have visitors that go in directly with their Pico in their bags to see the doctors. And I mean, right now, in 7 or 8 countries in Europe, we are really doing nothing.
Yeah.
They are working by themselves with the headsets and with the doctors. So it's so nice because it's really easy, this technology.
Yeah, it's when you believe in that. Yesterday was on another part in regards of this, how you can come from pilot to scaling. And this is, right now, still we've been, 20 plus years in this industry. We are still, in the early stages, but we are seeing that I cannot consider scaling, but large corporations are starting to really believe in this. Now we have, big corporations in the tech side like Google coming here. You mentioned that, Pico, we have HTC Vive, another kind of, Meta headset that are bringing new possibilities to the enterprise. So this kind of collaboration, more realistic training is more possible. In your case, this kind of collaboration layer, how do you manage that with the customer in your use case, or how important is that?
For different situations, we take different solutions. For example, we have a platform. In that platform, we think in the future, and we add artificial intelligence to translate automatically in all the language that the customer needs. That helps us to think in the scalability of the product and don't make me work more for the customer all the time. And they only need to take the glasses and go wherever they need and use it, and they don't need me. We define from the beginning the basic that all the people in the industrial sector need. You need tools to do agile, the adoption of the new training. Everyone can think in other points. No, you can talk with other companies that are focusing the customer create their own training. But in my opinion, we need a lot of time to do that, and the companies don't have enough time to do. We prefer to decrease our time internally to do the training. Now the relationship is very good because they don't need our attention for nothing, only for add more content.
If normally, I guess that we all agree, if your end customer, if they have a strategy, they will invest time, because in XR training and collaboration, normally you have the PowerPoint stuff. They continue to have what they've been doing for the last 30 and 40 years, and even though these technologies really add value to them, they have the ROI in it could be in money, in time reduction, or in knowledge retention. They don't invest that time, so then you develop something, and then it's there, in the wardrobe, so they don't use it. Even though they have done the pilot thing, they know that this adds value to them, and but I don't have time. So then it's because it was like a wow effect initially. Marketing think that, okay, I'm doing XR for training. We mentioned, I remember yesterday in another round table, the ROI of this XR training and collaboration. We're always thinking about money, which is the ROI in money, but it's not only about money. It's about knowledge retention, and it's about, from the use case that we've been involved, it's about engagement. I mean, how you're going to engage the new generations? They are going to demand XR and other technologies for training. We work with, actually here in the US, with GE Vernova, the nuclear business side of GE Vernova. And, even for them, the training simulator that we build for them, engagement is key. And I remember that they are having fun.
Yeah.
The learning manager said they are having fun. So normally, you can't say that. So they are having fun for training. This is a serious thing. Well, it's very important, because if you don't have those capabilities, potentially your competitors that have them are going to bring that talent. And unfortunately, there is a lack of industrial talent. So I think that's very important. And then you touch the word AI. AI, it's in every place. I remember Ori in the inauguration speech saying that no I without XR, for instance. So coming back to that, how are you, potentially integrating, not now, but in the future, AI and other technologies with XR and your solutions?
We have the artificial intelligence integrated now for all, because it's not only to create a faster code. We are trying to change how is the interaction between the user and the experience, and change a lot. I remember other speakers talking about the US, how we can improve it, but I think, okay, I don't need it, because the artificial intelligence talk with my students, explain all to my students. If they have a mistake, the artificial intelligence explain the mistake and show the correct way to do and learning. And for us, it's not strategic. It's necessary, because the experience inside in virtual reality change 100%.
And actually, I guess that right now AI could be, in the core technology stack of every company. And if you embed that into your XR solution, it's even easier, between commas, to introduce your solution in that company. Yeah. In your case, I don't know if in this specific use case that you mentioned, or in others, you are starting to introduce AI or other, technologies.
We're using in two different ways. I mean, one is inside the team, because right now is a very good way to scale with a little team, which is something you need to do in Spain, because we don't have a lot of money to hire a lot of people. So AI is really nice for this and maintain the culture of the company. But yeah, also for the training, for us, the things we are implementing is not just helping the student and improve the information to give, is how the student need to learn. I mean, because you need to engage with the content, but also, for example, I'm a person that for learning, I need to hear things. I'm not writing. So you can really do a personalized training system, or at least try to, using the AI.
Yeah, it's good that you bring, because I remember, there are different ways of learning. And for instance, if you implement XR for training, it's very realistic, very visual. Potentially, you can, have a better knowledge retention, but it's not potentially for everybody, because maybe the way of learning of others are different. So it's great that you touch that point. One last question, how you see, I would say the next years, or the evolution of the next years in this technology, okay? I mentioned before, Google is coming in. Yesterday we had here Palmer Luckey, Andrew just joining, partnership with Meta in the DoD industry. So, how do you see the future in this? Javier, would you like to?
David, you are talking about AI, and now you are talking about the future. And AI is filled with data. And I think one of the most important things is thinking about VR or XR can collect the data from our companies or our customers. I think it's the big question.
Good data, actually, no? Good data, because there is a lot of trust data. So
not just
good
AI
data,
for AI, just thinking about the data of our customers.
Yeah.
I agree. How do you see,
We are working now in the consume area, and we are creating experience in WebGL using artificial intelligence, for example, and we are very surprised about that. The data that the companies are saving from us, and the data is helping to the EA learn more about what kind of product are trying to find the customers. And if you ask me, the future is, of course, mix all those technologies to create not only a app, is create better experience with more data and more efficient systems. For me, is the way, not only the glasses, because the glasses...
That's part of the equation, that's part of the solution,
exactly.
But there is more infrastructure related that it's not, the headset itself.
Yeah.
Well, human being is very bad trying to figure out the future. But no, maybe the idea of the future is how you really create an impact, because XR has been here from a lot of years, and maybe we are in this show, so we all have XR, but the technology is there, the papers of what you can achieve in different areas is there, so maybe the hardware companies needs to work more in partnership with companies like us to really create an impact of show that, because I don't know you guys, but as soon as you put a headset to someone in training, you don't have to sell nothing.
Yeah.
It flows. And maybe the future is this kind of personalization. You see the VO3 doing videos and things like that. So where you really, for create the impact, you can go directly to that right person that needs this kind of thing, telling this kind of story. So I don't know, maybe just more personalization.
Yeah.
You mentioned about, I think just to close the panel, in training specific, you mentioned about partners. So we are talking here about the Spanish XR community. I'm proud to help the Spanish XR community because we are a Spanish company and have the possibility to say, hey, we are quite strong. But you mentioned about partnerships. That's why we are here with the support of the Spanish Trade Commission as well, to find partnerships, to think in a way that we can make the cake bigger, because that is going to be better for all. We are still the XR community globally quite small. Okay, we have big companies coming in, which I think is going to increase the cake for everybody. But last but not least, I would like to, Javier, you mentioned before that you are launching a game tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I would like you just to take the opportunity in the stage, just to share that a little bit in the last 30 seconds that we have, please.
This game is called Overdark. Yeah, this game is released in PS VR2 last year, and tomorrow in Meta, please add to your wish list.
Okay, well, cool. Well, thanks to everybody for coming. Hopefully you don't think Spain only the good weather, the good cuisine, but also a good XR community. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.